Breakout Stars to watch in 2024. We did a two-part series about golf talents who started out with the world at their feet and a light in their eyes but wound up as flameouts. Today, we'll be switching things up and covering the promising talents of 2023 and 2024 who might just be the next breakout stars of the sport. Let's get into it. Min Woo Lee. As far as promising talents go, Min Woo Lee comes highly recommended. To avid fans, Lee is no longer a breakout star and has already begun his spell of dominance. But 2024 is the year he becomes more than just the name whispered amongst golf nerds and hipsters to a more household brand. The 25-year-old is arguably the best of the bunch of breakout stars flying under the radar for some time now, but never really catching widespread attention. But that's about to change. The Australian already has the Scottish Open under his belt, a title he won at 23. And in his participation in 4 majors, he's finished in the top 25 on all occasions. Within the last 4 months of 2023, Lee looked to be in a transitional phase similar to what most top golfers do before exploding into the limelight, like Scheffler cleaning up at the Ryder Cup in 2021 and racking up top 20 finishes. Lee had an impressive run from finishing T6 at the Players to T5 at the US Open to T18 at the PGA Championship to T41 at the Open Championship. Then came the international wins at the Australian PGA Championship in Macau. Although he hasn't had enough PGA Tour wins yet, his victory record is a great indicator of his career trajectory. With a number 19 on the Data Golf rankings, we'd say he's done pretty well for himself. Lynn Grant. In the women's half, there are fewer players as technically gifted as Lynn Grant. Despite only turning pro less than 3 years ago, she's already proved capable of holding her own and winning games. So far, she's recorded 5 victories in the Ladies European Tour, all within a year. By July of 2023, she already had her name on her first LPGA Tour title, the Dana Open. In 2022, the Swede bagged the Order of Merit and Rookie of the Year awards at the 2022 Ladies European Tour. This came some 4 years after debuting in the LPGA as an amateur in the 2018 U.S. Women's Open. Although Grant hasn't given any majors a proper go, she has the abilities to stake her place in the big events. Her long hits and incredible ability on the iron helped her rank 5th for GIR on the 2023 LPGA Tour. I believe Grant is only just getting started. Adrian Dumont de Chazart. Winning on your debut sounds like a fairly common occurrence in sports, but the odds are much less in your favor than it shows. So, you've got to be better than decent to bag a victory on your professional debut. Adrian Dumont de Chazart stamped her name into golf consciousness at the Korn Ferry Tour's BMW Charity Pro-Am. She's yet another college product that finished in the top 10 of the amateur rankings. He would further prove his performance wasn't mere beginner's luck by finishing in that top 10 in his next 5 Korn Ferry Tour starts, including a 2nd, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 10th place finish. These performances led to expectations that he might be included in the European Ryder Cup team, but that wasn't the case. Also, his streak appeared to have waned by the end of the KFT season. But if anyone had the talent and abilities to bounce back and reinsert himself on the big stages, it's the Belgian, Vincent Norrman. So far, Vincent Norrman has joined the list of 5 players to win both the DP World Tour and PGA Tour in 2023. The other 4 are Ludwig Aberg, Matt Fitzpatrick, Rory McIlroy, and Max Homa. Norrman bagged the Irish Open after a final round finish of 65. He also went to the playoffs, where he won the Barbasol Championship. Keep in mind that the Swede hasn't been in the big leagues for ages. He turned pro in June 2021, but has since clawed his way up from the thousandths to as high as 71st in the global world rankings. So, it's a travesty how he's continued to fly under the radar. We think his stock is about to grow even higher this year and shoot him out of anonymity. Similar to Aberg, Norman's long, straight shots off the tee and his well-roundedness for the rest of the game are recipes for the spotlight. Rose Zhang. Min Woo Lee is to men's golf what Rose Zhang is to women's golf right now. Arguably the most exciting prospect there is. Still in her early 20s and newly turned pro only last year in May 2023, Zhang ended her amateur career on a high with a victory in the 2023 Augusta National Women's Amateur. Upon signing for the LPGA Tour, she hit the ground running with a win in her first start at the Mizuho Americas Open. That victory made her only the second debutante to ever win the event after Beverly Hansen in 1951. By the end of 2023, Zhang finished in the top 10 of 3 majors. Her amateur career is riddled with achievements that suggest a great career is on the cards, and her first win as a pro only adds to the fact. Zhang could very well be heading to the next level in 2024, even though she had a fairly quiet rest of the year in 2023. We see her dominating. Eric Cole. In 2023, we could make a case that Eric Cole was one of the hardest working golfers. He worked himself to the bone to win a PGA Tour title in his rookie season. Although he lost the Rookie of the Year award to Ludwig Aberg, who's nothing short of a prodigy, Cole still had a remarkable year. In any other year, the California native would have ended the season with a big win, but that just goes to show the level of competition between breakout talents these days. At a modest 35 years of age, one could say that Cole isn't exactly a young prodigy and has spent some part of his career grinding out a living on mini tour circuits. When ambitions kicked in, he became a PGA Tour member and came third in the 2022 Korn Ferry Tour Championship. Ever since, Cole's career has been trending upward. He's grown in the world rankings from 426th to 41st between the 2022-23 season and the 2024 campaign. That means he will compete in all 4 majors this year. Maya Stark. 6 victories on the Ladies European Tour and 2.5 points earned across 4 games in the 2023 Solheim Cup, Maya Stark did not come to play. She may have struggled to stamp her mark on the LPGA Tour, but 2024 is shaping up to be her year. Over the last 5 seasons, she has steadily and gradually risen through the Rolex rankings until she now sits well within the top 50. By the end of 2024, we are expecting Stark to push higher up for a top 20 ranking. Although she has found some success at the top level, Stark hasn't quite done enough to convince critics that she's living up to her potential. That would mean winning a major on the LPGA Tour and closing the gap on the top seats in the Rolex rankings. Ludwig Aberg. In terms of pure golfing prodigy, Ludwig Aberg is in a class of his own. It's too obvious that he's going to be a star. Some might even argue he already is one, even though the numbers don't show it. For example, he's got less Instagram following than Adam Scott. Now, social media follower count isn't the go-to metric for measuring the popularity of a youngster, but it does lend some insights into how an athlete is viewed in public perspective. The 2023 Ryder Cup introduced Aberg to many golf fans, and we can expect that he'll build on that exposure in 2024 as he continues to amass more opportunities. The 7-under finish at his first major this year will no doubt introduce him as a must-watch emerging figure to casuals and avid fans. Given his prodigious skill at driving the ball, the Swede is going to give audiences a reason to keep coming back. Add to the fact that he's only 24 and is as well adapted to the game as any other pro golfer, and you start to see the appeal. His game is good in every aspect, some even exceptional, and he has the talent to challenge and win right now. Thomas Detry. It's still mind-blowing that Detry has yet to bag his first win since turning pro in 2016. In the 2022-23 season alone, he started 42 times on the PGA Tour and made the cut 33 times. Compare that to Rory McIlroy, who only started 18 times. Detry has shown such an impressive passion and commitment for the game, and his consistency is deserving of more. He finished second at the Butterfield Bermuda Championship and ninth at the Sanderson Farms, further confirming a win is on the cards for him soon. The year 2024 might just be his year. Gordon Sargent. It's not often that one potential breakout star sets the pace for another, but that's exactly the case for Gordon Sargent, whose career has been based on the Ludwig Aberg blueprint. Gordon may well be on his way to making a name for himself should he decide to turn pro later this year, although it looks like that decision might not be anytime soon, even though he's earned his PGA card. Currently, Sargent sits top of the pile in the global amateur rankings, having finished his PGA Tour playing rights through the University Accelerated program. So yes, he does have a card to the tour, but his eligibility doesn't kick in until the end of this month. Even then, there's still a chance he might remain in the program for another year. While we may not have to worry about Sargent dealing with the lure of the PGA Tour just yet, his playing style of hitting the ball a mile off the tee is interesting. In fact, it has proved handy in competing with elite opponents, such as when he made the cut for the John Deere Classic and US Open after starting 4 times in 2023. That brings us to the end of the video, folks. What are your thoughts on these players, and who are you looking forward to the most? Leave your answers in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.